Can you spell out for us what it would mean if you reach next spring and this money is not signed off? What does that mean for Ukraine and its ability to not just fight, but function as a country? Thank you.
If this spring Ukraine does not receive the appropriate financial tranche, which in the event of peace, Ukraine will utilize for the full-scale reconstruction of our state. However, in the event of continued war, Ukraine will allocate these funds towards the following crucial priorities. First and foremost, the production of drones. If this specific financial tranche of necessary aid does not successfully arrive, then Ukraine's overall production capacity for drones will be significantly reduced, potentially by several orders of magnitude. For the purpose of comparison, if we consider the current situation today, specifically regarding the inexpensive drones that we are actively utilizing and deploying directly on the front lines of the battlefield, we currently maintain what is considered to be an approximately competitive, yes, number of these particular types of drones. With Russia, we will have significantly less. And if today we are using our long-range capabilities and they are also working effectively, then from our side, just like the sanctions packages on energy from our European and American partners, we, for our part, are doing everything possible to reduce Russia's energy resources. All of this simply will not exist.
Well, here's the answer.
Europe is facing a defining moment in the Ukraine war. As leaders gather in Brussels, President Volodymyr Zelensky is delivering a blunt warning. Without immediate financial backing, Ukraine's ability to fight and survive will be severely tested. At the center of the debate is billions in frozen Russian assets and whether Europe is willing to turn them into a lifeline for Kyiv. The choice now confronting the EU could shape the course of the war itself. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has arrived in Brussels for what aides describe as a high-stakes push. His message to European leaders is stark. Without urgent financial support, Ukraine faces serious trouble, both on the battlefield and at home.
As of today, this depends on political will. Well, I will speak with all the leaders presenting our arguments, and I truly hope that we can achieve a positive decision. Without this, there will be a very big problem for Ukraine.
Speaking to reporters ahead of a crucial EU summit, Zelensky said the proposed reparations-backed loan is not just about rebuilding cities destroyed by war. He stressed that as long as fighting continues, Ukraine needs money to sustain its army, boost defense production, and protect its skies. At the center of the debate is a plan to use profits from frozen Russian assets worth more than 200 billion euros to underwrite a massive loan for Ukraine. Most of that money is held in Belgium, placing Brussels under intense political and legal pressure. Zelensky warned that failure to approve the funding would send a dangerous signal. A weaker Ukraine, he said, would only embolden Moscow, reducing any incentive for diplomacy and increasing the risk of further escalation. European leaders are deeply divided. Some back the plan as a necessary wartime measure. Others fear legal retaliation from Russia and long-term consequences for Europe's financial system. Belgium, where the bulk of the frozen assets are stored, has raised concerns about legal exposure. Moscow has already launched lawsuits, and European officials worry about precedent and retaliation. Still, pressure is mounting. Poland's prime minister issued one of the bluntest warnings yet, telling fellow leaders the choice is simple: provide money now or risk far greater bloodshed later. As talks stretch late into the night, EU envoys are racing to close gaps between member states. For Ukraine, the outcome could determine whether it can hold its ground in the months ahead. For Europe, the decision carries consequences far beyond Ukraine, testing unity, resolve, and willingness to confront the costs of a war still raging on its doorstep. With diplomacy under strain and the battlefield unforgiving, Brussels has become the latest front in a conflict where delay itself may carry a price.
Already, Euroclear's money could be a different approach, specifically for assets held in Belgium and those held in other European Union countries, would drastically increase the risks of Russian countermeasures specifically targeting Belgium. And this too is completely unacceptable. If we jump, we all jump together. Belgium will not accept a solution where we alone would have to bear both the risks and the responsibility. Billions in assets have been frozen, not just immobilized, but truly frozen in Russia. At the same time, the progress made is still insufficient concerning other aspects. So to be perfectly clear, I have never yet seen a document or a text that could genuinely persuade me to give Belgium's full agreement. I have not seen it yet. I hope perhaps to see it today, but I have not seen it yet. We also demand protection from Russian countermeasures, and this is truly vital, such as confiscation in Russia or in third countries. The Commission has not yet provided satisfactory answers on this, yet this is a key element. This is a key element, because the potential risks involved are certainly not negligible. If we consider the fact that the Russian Central Bank has quite recently filed a claim for the substantial sum of 195 billion euros against Euroclear within a Russian jurisdiction, a confiscation of Euroclear's assets in Russia could trigger a snowball effect, meaning Euroclear would then be unable to meet its clients' expectations and the company's overall stability would be severely compromised. And that would be a financial nightmare.
At this very moment, we are presented with a very simple choice. The decision we make will either require financial investment today or it will inevitably lead to bloodshed tomorrow.
And I'm not just talking about Ukraine, I'm talking about Europe. And this is our decision to make, and only ours. I think all European leaders must finally rise to this occasion. This is all I can say today. Now,
we simply must resolve this today. If that fails, we'll be in a slightly different situation, but we'll still have tomorrow. But let's now focus all our efforts on this. And I know my Belgian colleague is also focused on this because he sees the financing need in 26 and 27 in Ukraine simply exists. And we must find a solution for it. We must also do that with fair burden sharing.
I would not like to see a European Union which is in war. To give money means war.
And of course, we have the discussions on the reparations loan. Now, the proposals that we have been working on, also addressing Belgium's concerns, I think to go for the legislative proposal means that we all take the risk because it's a European proposal, so the risk and the burden is shared equally. So I think the issues that Belgium has raised, we have also addressed. So I hope that we get this over the finishing line.